Hello guys, I'm gonna tell you some issues that people who are just getting into AI research may not understand at first or may not realize or see. This is my large language model Blueberry LLM that I'm writing my thesis, my AI research paper on. First thing to look out for is AI research is actually quite lonely. So at first it seems like people are publishing papers on LinkedIn, on X, they're getting a lot of views, a lot of likes, but that is so rare, and even if you get those views and likes, that's not true socializing. So AI research to me feels very lonely. Now it may not feel so lonely to you because I'm actually quite extroverted, so if you take 100 random people from street, maybe just one or two would be more extroverted than me. So here is how I deal with this problem of loneliness in AI research. So every day I have to go for a few hours outside into the city. So I live currently in Budapest, Hungary. It's a big city, there is a lot of foreigners, a lot of tourists, so it's very easy to make new friends. Now the issue with going out with your existing friends is they may not have time, they may not want to go where you want to go. So for me, I just go out into the city. There are a lot of tourist places. I can easily talk to people, make new friends. And I'm also learning foreign languages like Mandarin. It makes it even easier for me to make friends. And the advantage of this method is I can go whenever I want. I can return whenever I want. I can go wherever I want. As opposed to going with a friend, which I sometimes do, but they usually don't want to talk to or approach random people, which is actually quite interesting and exciting to me. So that's one way to deal with this loneliness that can happen in AI research if you don't particularly like staying at home whole day. And your social needs are not gonna come from AI research, even if you are a famous or established researcher. So I always mention these two people in my videos as examples of established or successful researchers. So it's Yang Song Lin and Su Jian Lin. So I'm sure even though they are already famous in the field and established, their social needs are not gonna come from their research. Now, I don't know if they like to socialize or not, but I would guarantee to you that even if you get as established or as successful, you will still have to go out and socialize and deal with this socializing issue separately because it's not gonna come from AI research. But doing this AI research, engineering or math or this kind of stuff can make people more interested into you when you go and meet new friends. Because you have a purpose, you have a goal, you have this knowledge and skill and all of this. So besides the loneliness that you may experience and may have a different way of dealing with, there is a second thing. It takes decades. So I'm gonna go back to Su Jianlin, and if you go here to his blog, he's been posting since 2009 blog posts, and now he's quite accomplished. So I believe that his blog posts did bring good positive change. So he's working at Kimi, but it took 16 years. So it's gonna take 5, 10, 15, 20 years for you as well. And it's just a long journey. So you need to get your reasons for doing AI research straight, and it's not gonna be social recognition or socializing. It has to be something else. So you may be interested in understanding the reality, the world, the AI, the maths, or you wanna help build this technology, advanced technology for everybody, and know that it's gonna take many years or decades. And when Kimi K2 came out, it was considered to be amongst the best AI models in the world. So I was wondering how much of that was Su Jianlin, and I tweeted, and he said that his contribution is insignificant compared to everybody else's contribution when looked from the broad scale. And I forgot to mention that he is inventor of ROPE, so rotary positional embeddings. It's used everywhere. But that came out of 1 or 2 decades of researching this, writing blogs a few times a month. So it's just a very long journey. And even though he invented rope, as I mentioned earlier, this fame will not fulfill person's social needs. Fame on the internet or people knowing about you cannot compare to you just talking to somebody for 20 minutes. Going out and talking to somebody for 20 minutes, hanging out, is the real way to socialize. And it's not replaceable by this internet fame or likes or whatever. So just keep that in mind when you are deciding to get into this field. And you can try for yourself, and you will realize, if you are a beginner especially, that chasing likes, views, and subscribers and this kind of stuff does not compare to just going out and talking to people and socializing. and likes and views you will get forgotten tomorrow. So then you will realize you will look for long-term things. You will start asking yourself, okay, these like internet fame, X views, likes, it fades away very quickly. So what am I gonna invent that's gonna be read by people in 300 years? That's what you're gonna start asking yourself. And then the other example is Yang Songlin, and she's famous for trying to figure out better, more efficient attention mechanisms. At first, it seems like this work is all about just linear attention, but in reality, if you are doing this research, you need to understand the math, the fundamentals, the transformers. So, specializing in something like this makes you understand the whole field very deeply, or the future of AI, the future of LLMs, the future of transformers. And this is a good example what a successful career path for you would look like. You would pick something and then go deep into it. But again, just because you are specializing with one thing doesn't mean you only know that thing. I'm sure that if you do something like this, you would need to know everything about transformers and how to surpass transformers onto the next architecture. So this is a lot more general knowledge that you would gain than just linear attention, what it seems like at first. And it's up to you to discover what you want to do. So currently, I'm actually so uncertain if it should be LLMs or something else. I have no idea. It's like 50-50. Like, are the LLMs future? Should I focus on LLMs, or is it gonna be something else like JEPA or some other mechanism? But whatever I do, even if it's like LLMs, so I'm still learning about optimizers, about batch size, learning rate, all of these fundamentals that are gonna be easily transferred to any other architecture that comes after LLMs. So don't get scared and just follow your curiosity, follow your interests, and you will figure out for yourself your path forward. And the last thing is, I heard most of the time your experiments will fail. So it's not gonna feel so happy most of the time, but then you will eventually find something out, and that's how you make scientific progress. If you are interested in becoming AI researcher, you can watch my 3-hour course on YouTube. This is everything, your entire roadmap that you need to learn. And once you master these concepts, you will be able to read AI research papers, understand them, and continue doing research from them. And then you can also join my school. We have all of these lessons, courses, classes, and for just $9 a month, you will become AI researcher with 7-day free trial, so you can see if you want this or not. Link below the video. I also recommend this video, Adam Optimizer. It's gonna teach you step by step this most famous optimizer, and you will understand the basics of other optimizers as well. This AI research roadmap will teach you everything you need to know to become AI researcher, to be able to understand AI research papers and continue doing research from them.